Here's one. Someone was a behavior therapist for 6 years before becoming a supervisor. Now they're working with behavior therapists that they've worked with before. Most of them have good skills, but could you give me the suggestion mindset and what's the most important things to go over? For sure. And I think that's, Yoko, I think that's one very difficult role that a lot of people have when they move from therapist position to a supervisor position, right? So, you've worked with many of these people in the past, and how do you establish yourself as a supervisor? Some people just say, hey, great for you, step up, absolutely, and direct me. And other people are like, how dare you tell me what to do because you were my friend, or we were in the same position, or maybe I hired you and now you're higher than, you're higher up than me. And that can be really difficult. We could probably stay on this whole discussion of pairing for a long time. So, as Doreen mentioned, like pairing a therapist with reinforcement for a student, right? Pairing yourself with reinforcement for a student, but what about as a supervisor? So how do you pair yourself as reinforcing, to a therapist? So, as a supervisor, so now you're in this role, most of these therapists have great skills, but you still want to tweak them. First of all, you have to work on building their respect. And not respect as in, hey, we're friends, but hey, like now I'm your senior, and that's tough, right? If they're around, they were your friends before, they're still going to be your friends, or at least a colleague. You may want to have an open discussion with them and say, hey, like, is it awkward for you? Because it's kind of awkward for me. And admit that, like, it is kind of awkward for me. How do you want me to lead you, given the fact that I wasn't in this leadership role before. If you feel comfortable doing that, seeing if you can ask for their opinion. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, do some pairing. When you're a supervisor, like if you can, pair yourself with reinforcement, bring in some donuts. I don't know if you guys can eat together right now or not, but, bring in something so that you are, pairing yourself with reinforcement. The first few times you supervise, offer suggestions regarding programming, but don't offer suggestions regarding their therapy skill. Don't offer suggestions regarding what they're doing wrong for probably a good month before you start offering them one suggestion at a time, or, hey, if you thought of this, something like that.
And I could add something that I probably learned from Shayna, is that when you're giving the suggestions, is open it up as in, what do you think we should do? Like, what do you think would help this situation? So like get their feedback, even if you kind of know the answer and you're going to lead them in that direction anyway, instead of being like, this is my way and this is how I think we should do things, have it be more conversational.
Yeah, good point. I always walk in and I say, listen, guys, don't be nervous. I'm not supervising you as a therapist. I'm supervising the program. So I'm supervising the program. You're the therapist. You have more hours with this kiddo than I do. So therefore, you know the kiddo better. So if I'm offering a suggestion, let me know if I'm right or wrong, because I could be totally way out of the ballpark, because you know the kid better than I do. Or, hey, have you thought about this? And I might say, for language, for instance, like, oh, I've noticed, he's talking in 2-word phrases, but, I'm assuming our goal is to get him to increase his mean length of utterance to 3 or 4 words. Any ideas on how to do that? And I'll put that out to them, right? And see if they have any ideas and lead them with questions. Or, hey, have you, I noticed that you're playing board games. It's super cool. He's mastered Candyland. Have you played any other board games with other kiddos that you think he could do? Right? And stuff like that, and lead them that way, because that then empowers them as well. And it's not just like Shira said, I'm the supervisor now and you've got to listen.